Hello, everyone.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Is it real? Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
How is everyone doing today? Welcome to Friday.
Good, I guess.
Welcome to Friday. It's another Roll for Initiative where we are talking about who is the best X-Men villain. And that was decided by Dave being the winner of last week.
Hooray!
We were talking about best Zelda? No. Best Star Trek captain. That's it.
Star Trek?
Days blend together, y'all.
This is weeks now. This is not days anymore.
Yes, that's true. I'll put that over in front of Dave. There you go. He's got his edict of Captain Spock as his trophy from winning last week. And so he decided that we will be talking about who is the best X-Men villain. So we've got a list of 16 that we will be debating from, and we will roll our dice to see who has the opening argument for every bracket, and everything will move on as you guys help us vote through who goes on. And then at the very, very end of the day, we will have a popularity test or poll to see who gets to vote on who gets to decide on the next
Topic debate. Holy hell, Ryan.
Crushed it.
It's not a popularity vote. It's who is the best debater.
It's a popularity vote.
It really is.
Who's the best debater? But, you know.
Yeah, and you get to use your channel points, so you can vote as many times as you want with those things, and really make sure that who you want to get through goes through.
Yeah. Click battle, y'all.
Click battle. And
Remember
and if you...
to vote before you discuss characters on the chat.
Yes. Writing the name will count as a vote, and we won't feel bad for you.
There's no way for us to fix it, so
You cannot
Don't
vote
mess up.
again or change your mind.
No turning back.
No turning back now. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Kurgal, for the resub.
Yay!
I lament the omission of Strife.
So there's only 16 spots.
Right.
You can always do another one.
There are decades of villains.
yeah.
We can't get them all, guys.
We try. We could be here for probably like more than a month if we did every X-Men villain.
Probably.
Especially if you go into crossovers. It's like,
Oh no.
Populated with
I rolled an 8.
You rolled an 8.
oh, we started?
I guess so.
16.
Nice.
First, like, let's go.
Cucumber's ready.
Ready.
11.
Got a
15.
second.
Oh,
17,
Carla.
stop. You said 17, right?
What?
You said
You said
17?
Me?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said 15.
Oh, okay. I guess
Hooray.
me first.
Yeah, and our first bracket is going to be Nimrod versus Magneto.
So personally, I like Magneto better. I don't know a lot about Nimrod. Obviously, I like Magneto better because I know more about him. But I'm looking at Nimrod's powers, and he can shapeshift and teleport. And I feel like if he was fighting Magneto, being able to teleport, but I feel with Magneto, it's always hard because they're like, well, he can alter the metal in your blood. So it's like, when we're getting to that point, it's just a little bit of cheating. So if we're using that argument, I'm gonna go with Magneto because it's like, no matter where you are, like as soon as you get anywhere, he can start messing with your blood, and it's like, you're done. But
Mild counterpoint to that. That was after a shit ton of metal was injected into a person, if you're citing the movie version. So it's not like he can just regularly walk around and just suck. I mean, I'm sure he could suck the iron out of people, but on a normal person, there's not enough for that to really matter. It was a syringe like the size of an arm that went into that dude's
Yeah.
butt.
Yeah. That was a lot. That was significant.
But yeah. Magneto. Magneto's got like, he's so good. Like I am generally tired of the trope of sympathetic villains, but like Magneto is the perfect example of one that completely works and will always work because he comes from a place of compassion and empathy, and all he wants to do is protect the downtrodden. It's just his methods that are a little extreme. But on paper, he and Xavier agree, which is what makes him so fascinating. Like, it's like, they both want the same things. How they go about getting it and the amount of patience they have to get it is what's different, and that's about it. Plus, he's powerful as fuck. Super cool. Yeah, I'll save more points for the future because I feel like he's gonna sweep this. I'm calling it now.
But wouldn't you say that Magneto is not necessarily doing it for the same things that Xavier is doing it? Because he believes that mutants are superior to humans, so they're like something to wipe off the face of the earth.
Well, I mean, that comes from being, just oppressed. Right, locked up, the whole Holocaust thing. That comes from, it's that, well, if they're not gonna treat us okay, it's you treating me like that, well, I'm just gonna, like, you hit me, I'll hit you back. Like, it's not necessarily like we're superior. It's that, well, you killed all my people, so I'm gonna kill all your people. And it's very like quid pro quo, like, well, if you thought that was fair and equal, if I do this, that should be fair and equal. Like, it's very
an eye for an eye.
Like, it's very eye for an eye. And yeah,
yeah. And Magneto's got a bigger eye poking stick when it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magneto is a pretty complex character in that way. He has reasons for what he does that are kind of agreeable.
Yeah.
You really understand where he's coming from, especially with his origin story. I mean, he really was I was going to say possessed, and that's not the word. He really was oppressed from very many different angles. And so when that all comes together, he's got something special to fight for. I don't know much about Nimrod either. Do you want to talk about Nimrod?
Nimrod he's a Sentinel from the future. So he's kind of there representing all of Sentinels. But as iconic as they are as X-Men villains, they don't hold a candle to Magneto. I'm not going to argue for Nimrod, sorry.
Fair.
He looks like a very expensive gaming mouse.
Yes.
It's cool though. He's in one of the best storylines, which is fun.
Which storyline?
Days of Future Past.
Oh.
Yeah.
He does get taken over by Master Mold at some point.
Master Mold! We're talking about him before the stream started. He's so cool.
How come he didn't make the list?
Because he's not that cool.
Hey. Cameron Rice, thank you for the raid.
Cameron Rice, holy shit! Hey, buddy!
Hey, man!
Wait a minute.
How's it going?
Oh my gosh, hey, if you guys don't know Cameron, we know him from Hyper, and now he's hosting and doing all kinds of cool stuff. He does photography. Check him out.
We're debating about who's the best X-Men villain today, so feel free to, now that we have the polls open, feel free to put 1 or 2 in the chat and vote along with us.
Remember to do the number first before you say any arguments, because that'll count as a vote.
It's Pandar says, hi, Cameron forced me to come here. Oh,
Fair.
too late for you now.
You're about to get sucked into this rabbit hole.
It's Pandar felt bad for Nimrod. Nimrod got a pity vote.
Aww.
Nice.
I like when pity votes go out.
Yeah, I don't think I have to leave this poll open very long.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah,
what the
it's
public
already
likes.
it's 11-1. All right, let me tap that on. Magneto will definitely be moving forward, and we will to the next one, which will be Onslaught versus Mr Sinister.
Oh, fudge. I like them both, but I got a 3 though.
Got a 1.
Fumbled.
1.
I'm okay.
4.
I don't want to start it.
What?
I got a 4 too.
Wow,
No.
super low rolls on this one.
Oh, I think Corey's got to go first.
Corey has a 5.
Why? No. See, okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I'm like, I know a little bit about. These are the two that I'm like, I have no idea about these.
Yeah.
So, I got very little. Going by their outfits, I like Mr. Sinister way better.
The
Yeah.
Superman reject.
What?
Sure. Okay. It looks very Black Widow-esque.
Okay.
It's got the red in the center. He's got the big collar. I really don't know these two characters. I'm gonna go with Mr. Sinister.
I was thinking the first thing I saw when I saw Mr. Sinister's
Ryan, that's word good. Word good. So
Mr.
good.
Sinister's costume was it was a Bizarro Superman.
Oh, there you go. No,
Yeah.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Onslaught, I've seen this color scheme before. I've seen these shapes before. It seems very indistinct. Versus Mr. Sinister, yes, I've seen the color scheme. Yes, black and red. We get it. You're evil.
She doesn't know
Also the
cucumber.
name.
She doesn't know.
That's fine. That's fine.
What?
I mean, no, Mr. Sinister's pretty freaking cool. So I like Mr. Sinister. As far as formidable villain, though, I'm gonna lean toward Onslaught because it's like a weird DBZ. They did their little pairing dance, and then Xavier and Magneto became Onslaught, and it's terrifying. It's both of those powers in one place, both of those consciousnesses in one place, two extraordinarily capable characters just put in a blender and then put in that badass suit. I would not fuck with that with a 40-foot pole.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if they went against each other. If Onslaught went against Mr. Sinister, that battle would not last 10 seconds. It's I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Onslaught would just wipe away. I'm with Onslaught as well. Plus Xavier Magneto, baby.
Baby.
Yeah, I made this.
Do you love it? I need this.
I would have to go with Onslaught as well. I remember when Onslaught hit the Marvel Comics, and it was a big kind of event. My cat is also remembering that for some reason. No, it was a huge event, and it was it was a big X-Men thing, but it was all of Marvel as well. Fantastic Four was in there, and Franklin Richards, who was Reed Richards' son, had to show up and fight, and he's supposed to be this crazy strong telepathic character.
He's supposed to be the most powerful mutant there is, but they never do anything with him.
Yeah, but they actually brought him out to fight for Onslaught, so it was it was a big deal. So I'm going to go with Onslaught, but I do have to say Mr. Sinister is a character that I would cosplay. The outfit is everything.
I'd like Mr. Sinister just because I think he should be played very campy, and maybe Vincent Price should play him or something.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That'd be cool.
But I do like Onslaught because they brought Franklin Richards out of mothballs and used him for something.
Yeah.
But those are my arguments there.
Yeah, I just on paper alone, because I don't know too much about these two characters either. Onslaught definitely seems like a very, very overloaded power centered person, but not terribly much of a planner as far as I can tell. But Mr. Sinister has a background as a scientific genius with biology, genetics, and cloning.
With questionable methods.
Yeah, sure. So it just seems like if you were to go up against someone who's cunning, I would not want to go up against Mr. Sinister from what I can read from it. So that's where my vote is kind of going.
Onslaught was kind of an event.
Yeah.
I think when it happened, it triggered a huge event in the Marvel universe. But as a character, he didn't really do much himself. Like you're saying, he wasn't much of a thinker. He was a catalyst for something.
It's just like the bad guy of the week, the thing to knock down kind of thing.
I think it triggered something like the amalgam thing, because they put the whole universe on hold,
and characters were being combined.
Because they took the opportunity to do something completely different with all their comics, and then when they ended it, it turned out I think that everybody was safe inside Franklin Richards' head or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it literally was a huge event catalyst.
God.
Yeah, much of the villain.
Interesting. Well, we've got plenty of votes in the chat right now.
Yeah, the chat's going for Mr. Sinister.
They are.
They like the suit.
And
like
Mr.
the
Sinister
suit.
is also responsible for Cable's existence, which is kind of cool.
Nice. All right, get those votes in. I'm going to be closing it up in just a second. Tavern Tales podcast says Sinister just has a longer pedigree. Didn't Franklin create a whole new world?
Asian Bruce Willis, it's the diamond on the forehead. That's the tipping point. He's got a diamond on his forehead.
Repeating motif, it's also on his chest.
Yeah.
That's
Ooh.
fine.
Double
They were like,
diamond.
okay, so like we're taking inspiration from, your form and bring it into the costume.
It's like the double rainbow, but it's really a double diamond.
Yeah.
And then add peacock feathers to the back.
Right.
Yes.
Done with style. All right. Finishing that off. Mr. Sinister moving on. All right. Next we have Apocalypse versus Emma Frost.
I want to know who Emma Frost is.
Emma Frost.
Emma.
She's the best of the best, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
I've got a 10.
We got a 5.
Got 6.
I got an 8.
Buttercup. The sweet.
So the 10, I think the 10 was the high
I
one.
think the 10 was the highlight.
The 10 was the highest? Shit. This is hard because I love Emma Frost. She's a badass. Leads the Hellfire Club and stuff. Gets in people's heads and stuff. Fucks around with Cyclops, which I think is a negative because, no thanks, Scott. And then, let's see. Apocalypse. I mean, not my favorite look because he's like dark side light, but he's super interesting. I've always liked him as a mutant, but I've also kind of liked like his own little, it's like his, oh my gosh, like his squad, like back when Mystique was still Mystique and super cool and badass and shit. Like their little cluster I enjoyed. I like Apocalypse. A lot of shit happened with him. It's not a great movie though, so don't judge it based on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not the same Apocalypse.
Movie. Yeah, that movie was awful.
Thing.
Between the two, this is a tough one because Emma Frost is my girl. I absolutely love her. But I think as far as best villain, I would have to go with Apocalypse because he's villain through and through, and Emma Frost kind of treads that line where, she was full villain at one point, but she's more of a hero now.
Yeah, she like teaches at the school and shit.
Yeah.
The fixture.
So, I absolutely love Emma Frost, but I had to go with Apocalypse on this one.
I'm gonna go with Emma Frost though.
Really? Why?
Because
She's a
he's
badass.
supposed to be all powerful, and yet he needs an A on his uniform to remind him what his.
He's like,
Wow.
Yes. When they retconned him to be the first mutant, I was like, that's not really necessary. And Emma, the villains you can't put your finger on. You don't know whether they're going to be good or bad this week. They're the ones you got to watch out for.
It's true, and those are my
Yeah.
favorite characters. That's why I love Emma Frost so much. So maybe I am going with Emma Frost.
He's been persuaded.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck Apocalypse.
This is why we do discussions first, because you can change your mind.
I mean, it's actually kind of going with your argument for like Onslaught was an event, and the same kind of how Apocalypse was kind of an event more. Like he was the big bad, but like you just knew he was the big bad. And Mr. Sinister kind of had like a record to do stuff.
I do.
Badass. She's a teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Emma Frost as well. Like her telepathic abilities are like almost on par with who says she goes against Dark Phoenix, but then she doesn't. She ends up losing to her. But at one point, didn't they make Dark Phoenix the Black Queen of the Hell whatever club that she's like that? Yeah. So it's like she's super powerful. Like she's a badass, but her backstory, she has like. She turned down her dad's fortune to make her own way in the world, and she has a better backstory in my opinion. I like her. She's like a badass through and through, and like she changes back and forth, but women power.
Yeah. Also, don't judge her by the movies either.
Oh yeah, Emma Frost is awful in the movies too.
I just don't talk about the movies. I think the movies are garbage for the most part. So
I agree.
no.
I will still watch X2 any day of the week, but yeah, the rest of them I'm good.
That's great. I'm actually looking forward to New Mutants whenever it comes out.
I don't even think they made a movie. They just took a bunch of pictures and they're fucking with people.
I mean,
It's like the Muppets Hamilton.
Oh god. The Deadpool movies count as X-Men movies. Like, I'll watch those. Those are good.
Yeah, it's weird that the one comedy that's supposed to be like lampooning all that shit is one of the only ones that's gotten half of those characters right. That's so
I
fucked up.
I used to love the animated series back in the 90s.
Yes.
The animated series.
That was my
That's
intro
so good.
and still most of my knowledge. So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Emma Frost winning the poll.
Oh, and X-Men Evolution. That was also pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
I don't know if it holds up though. I haven't watched it since it was on.
I haven't either. But I did enjoy it a lot when I was growing up.
So someone in the chat, Rathlon, is saying the qualifiers of what we're voting for is stressing me out. Best is most liked or most efficient. Like that's kind of why we leave it up to
It
best.
doesn't
It's that-
matter. All the
it's that-
points.
We're kind of also arguing on the best definition while we're arguing for each one being the best.
Hell, Ryan was voting for best food for the Ghibli movies.
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
bring
I think-
all of the points.
I think from here on out, maybe those should be our arguments. Like it should be like a very arbitrary, like who would make the best sandwich or something, as opposed to like who is the best.
Ooh.
Because it's like I feel
That's
like
cool.
we all kind of know generally going in where that's going to lead. But if we had to like get creative with our arguments,
Interesting.
maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if you vote for me as the master debater today, maybe I'll come up with a fun little question for you. Oh God, I pulled a chunk.
I definitely feel like Emma Frost would make a better sandwich than Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse.
Yeah. Oh,
didn't care
definitely.
what you thought of the sandwich.
Wait, is that sexist?
A little bit.
No, I just think that she.
Excuse me.
No,
I
like
don't think Apocalypse knows how to do any kind of like
No.
human type
it would be
thing.
like 2 circuit boards with a dead squirrel in the middle or something. Like it would be gross.
It's
Which
a
channel
sandwich
would
by
you wanna watch?
definition.
Whose Twitch channel would you want to watch? Emma Frost.
Oh, Emma Frost.
Emma Frost.
Frost.
I mean-
Absolutely Emma Frost.
I mean,
Any day of the
Emma
week.
Frost.
Apocalypse would be like that angry gamer dude just like fucking and cursing the entire time and like
He'd be like, I could get big, see? I'll get small, see? Like, yeah, seen it, APOC.
all right. I think
Oh no.
I know she didn't make
Oh
it.
no. Boo.
I looked, she was ahead.
I know. It's because I cheered her on her. I was like, no, fuck with her. Apocalypse is gonna win.
Yep, by a little bit, by 2 votes, Apocalypse moves on.
So sad.
Now,
Usually caucus.
all right, we now have Blob.
Yeah, I have a Trash Panda shirt. It's wrong.
Oh,
I just saw a
versus
comment with
Mystique.
like the Trash Panda.
that's
Donka
adorable.
show.
I'm repping the channel merchandise.
Thank you.
Yay.
Dave and I are wearing each other's art.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cute.
Ooh.
Who's next?
It is going to be Blob versus Mystique.
Okay.
Ha, that's easy.
I know, right? Should we even vote
3.
for this one?
12.
10. We got 12.
3.
Will's up.
Yeah, it's totally Mystique. Although I do feel like Blob would make a better sandwich.
Ah.
He wouldn't share it though.
You wouldn't share
It'd
it.
be
You
good
would
for himself.
Blob's
No,
a dick.
Mystique is so badass, and she's one of the few characters that actually is awesome in the comics and also awesome in the movies. She's just all around badass, and who wouldn't want a power like that, where you could shapeshift and kind of get into whatever area you want to get into.
Plus, she gave us Nightcrawler.
Plus, she gave us Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
She made this.
Like, little baby cucumber had like a weird crush on animated series Mystique. She was just super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Look, like twin guns, skulls on her belt. Like, but yeah, she's just awesome. She's a badass mutant who knows, like, I feel like a lot of mutants have powers and like do a lot of like the same stuff. Like, she has to be creative to be effective to use her powers, because like people know she exists, so she's got to do a better and better job every time she does her shtick. And
She has powers and skills.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blob is just a dick.
Blob is indeed a dick.
One of the coolest cosplays I've ever seen was a Mystique cosplay where they did like her in the middle of transforming. So they did half blue and half was in like an army uniform.
That's
And
awesome.
it was amazing. They also then, like, I read up on the cosplayer and they apparently, like, their cosplay that they were gonna wear totally like failed. So this was like a last minute, the night before, throw it together because I have the fabric thing, and it's amazing and immaculate. And so like Mystique has just always like stuck with me because I was like, I saw that cosplay and I was like, yeah, I mean Mystique was cool before, and then I just kind of put it over the
That's
top.
awesome. I've always wanted to like makeup, like theater makeup. Like I've always wanted to like be better at that. But like I feel like I've always wanted to do that because I've wanted to do a Mystique makeup.
Nice.
She's just so good. Like especially like the scaly version of Mystique. It's like that'd be so good.
Get lots of gelatin.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some really cool 3D printed methods of that too, where you print a little layer of filament onto the bed. You lay some mesh onto that, and then print on top of that, so you can get scales that you can flex over your body. It's really cool.
Interesting.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Ooh.
Like mesh, kind of like the wig mesh that you use.
Yeah, kind of
The
like
one
that.
that you use for wigs.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I have never tried it, but I really want to give it a go at some point.
Oh, thank you for the follow. It's giant.
It's huge. Oh my god.
That's a YouTube one. That's why. Unnecessarily large.
Yeah. All right.
Blob got some pity votes.
He did.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Look at it.
Blob is a character that I enjoyed the most in X-Men Evolution. Out of like anywhere I've ever experienced him. I like him the most there. He was fun.
I don't think I ever saw any episodes with him in it.
Yeah, he was like, you know, the gang of bullies that were all like Quicksilver and Earthquake dude, whatever the fuck his name was. Avalanche.
They're Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which Mystique is one of too.
Yeah. Although, in like the weird evolution timeline though, she was already an adult, and then it was Kurt who was in high school, so he like filled like, I don't know. Anyway, this is a fun show. It's like Gotham, but for X-Men, I guess. It's that weird kind of like, we don't really care about timelines, so just trust us kind of thing.
It's a thing.
All right, I'll close that pull out, and Mystique will definitely be moving on.
Bye-bye, Blob.
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 All right,
Juggernaut.
we've got the Juggernaut versus Lady Deathstrike.
Yay! I got a 3.
I got a 1.
11.
11?
Go
that-
11.
I think that might be you, Will.
Who would you pick between Juggernaut and Lady Deathstrike?
The Juggernaut is a good one to pick just because he's a lot like the Blob, only he's a little cooler.
The Blob 2.0.
Exactly. And I really liked him, and he's one of the best things about X3, with Vinnie Jones playing him.
That was the only thing I liked about X3. His and Kitty Pryce in exchange. Yeah.
Lady Deathstrike didn't she used to be Wolverine's love interest?
Yes, she did.
I
Madam Hands.
For him, and she turned out to be a villain. But I don't think I've read anything with her in it.
Yeah, and she was barely used in X2. Like she was woken up and then killed. It's pretty
Yeah, she's like a bodyguard.
Yeah, that's it.
A hot minute.
She looked badass, but she didn't really do much.
It was a great redesign, let me tell you. Because Lady Deathstrike in comics and cartoon was kind of gross. Just weird looking. But yeah, I would go with I'd go with Juggernaut because he's less specific of an enemy. Like he could be an enemy to everybody, where I feel like Deathstrike is more specifically a Wolverine baddie. And he's Professor X's stepbrother. And I always liked the fact that, like, at least in like cartoons and comics, it was the gem of Sidorak that gave him his powers. Like he was just a dude, and then he's got this gem. That's what makes him unstoppable. And then he pops the helmet on, a la Magneto, to keep Xavier out of his head. So one of my favorite fights is like watching everybody fight to like unclasp the fucking dome just to like get into his head to stop him, because otherwise you just can't. He's so cool. And as like a little dinky dude, he was something to look up to as a little boy.
There was an old
Thank you, Scabby Rooster.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon that had Iceman and Firestorm. Was that her name? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Saturday morning cartoon.
I think, isn't it on? I don't think it's on Disney Plus. I think it's one of the old cartoons that's missing on Disney Plus.
They had a couple of origin episodes where they showed like Iceman's origin, and they talked about the X-Men in it. And they went back to visit the mansion, and that episode, the Juggernaut was in it, and he was trying to get at Professor X in the mansion, and everybody was doing exactly what Cucumber was describing there, and trying to pull his helmet off, and it was good times.
It takes a village.
Scabby Rooster says, I just came here to say that you're all wrong. It's Mojo.
He's on the list.
Vote for Mojo.
We'll get to Mojo. We'll get to Mojo
yet.
Stick around and vote for him.
Yeah, I'm definitely Juggernaut as well.
So Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go.
Oh, well, I was going to impose a question. I was going to say, which of the movies, who had the best depiction of Juggernaut?
Who out of like every iteration?
No, of the ones who've gotten to play him so far, like in X-Men, with Patrick Stewart, and then like the newest one or like the Deadpool, Juggernaut, and.
Was he in Deadpool too? I still haven't seen Deadpool.
Yeah.
He rips him apart.
Well, that's spoilers. Cool.
He's in Deadpool too?
Yeah. It's great.
Well, of the ones I've seen, I like cartoon Juggernaut the best. Because his proportions are not possible by humans, no matter how hard you
It's
try.
like the opposite Barbie.
Oh, thank you, Scabby Rooster, for gifting the sub to a bunch of people. Oh.
And like, also, thank you. I also really like the, or rather, I liked Vinnie Jones as the Juggernaut, but I hated that they used that meme line in the movie.
I
forever
loved it.
cementing and dating that film for the rest of time. Not that it needed any help.
I personally feel like that meme line is timeless. So I'm fine with it.
All right. I remember I caught myself laughing and then I stopped, like, disgusted with myself. Like, oh.
See, that's a you problem, Cucumber.
That is a me problem.
You just let yourself be free and laugh, and that's a great thing.
Don't encourage
I
it.
don't know how to experience joy. Thanks for gifting that other sub too. Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you, Crossbones, for your
Thanks, Scabby
resub.
Rooster. Oh, I see.
Scares says, "Happy Gen Con."
Like Captain Orange, no, Nargile and Crossbones or Cross X Bones.
Yes. And yes, we miss you too. If Gen Con was a thing, we would probably have gone there and hung out with you all.
I was so excited. It was gonna be my first Gen Con.
Wait, oh, you guys were gonna come to Gen Con?
We're gonna.
I was gonna be there.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not even CES anymore.
Sad time.
On another note, wear your masks. Okay.
Yes, please. We would like to go back to conventions soon.
Right.
Mhm.
I would like to go back to work and put up conventions soon.
Yeah.
I don't want to go anywhere, but still wear your mask.
I'm fine sitting at home, but wear your fucking masks.
All right.
I think
Juggernaut,
this one's
moving
done.
on. Okay, next one we have Dark Phoenix versus Sebastian Shaw.
I feel like this one's easy.
One.
Ooh, I got an 18.
6
Huh.
months.
Got a 10.
Was it
I'm
me?
having super low today.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my.
I'm rolling super low.
Okay, I am gonna go with Sebastian Shaw.
What?
I love the question
I mean,
mark,
go
Sebastian.
for it, man.
Shaw?
You live your best life.
I think all of us had a great reaction shot just now.
You sure? You sure you want to go
Tell
back?
us why you're going with Sebastian Shaw, Ryan.
It's kind of
In great
in the
detail.
same vein of like Sebastian is a villain and Phoenix is an event. Like she's just gonna like cause a reign of destruction. But yes, obviously she was Jean Grey at some point, but still. Like, and so Sebastian is kind of like, he's methodical, he's doing like his thing. He has a cool power of transforming like things into energy, and I don't know, he just has like a different swagger, at least in the First Class movies. It just like seems more interesting than just like an all-powerful telekinetic being.
Asia Bruce Willis says he's the poor man's Ric Flair universe. I will humbly disagree with you.
Fair.
Sebastian Shaw, I mean, okay, he's formidable for like a C villain, I think. Like he's got I agree, he's got a cool power, you know, he can take all the energy, convert it into punches and shit. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, Dark Phoenix, look behind Corey. Look at the fucking hellfire that will be unleashed upon you if you, like, you know, step out of line with Crazy Pants over there. You got a celestial bird in your brain taking over and granting you all kinds of crazy shit powers. You just can't fuck with that. I mean, you do over a very long arc, but you do. And, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I had to learn how to end sentences is what I'm realizing.
And yeah.
Practice.
Ryan, going off of what you said, that Dark Phoenix is just like an event. It's the event of events, though, and there's also a long storyline leading up to it. Like it for you to appreciate the event for what it is, you have to follow that long origin going up to it, and then it becomes more than just an event. Dark Phoenix is a power to reckon with for sure. I have to go with Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
We all want to go for Kevin Bacon, but
I mean, yes, but
if you just go off the original Dark Phoenix story, I mean, it ended with Jean sacrificing herself to save everybody. And that, I worked in a comic book store when I was younger, and that was the most expensive comic in the store for many, many years, and for a reason. So I think we're gonna choose her because of that.
he decided. Dave's like, we're picking Dark Phoenix.
No.
We'll listen to have to say right now.
About just me and Pitbull.
Oh man. Yep, everyone's agreeing so far, 6-0. So.
Yeah, there's no competition. If you put them in
Good
a
for
room
you
together.
for being brave and trying to pick Sebastian Shaw.
Yeah.
I don't know, he just had that sense of cool villain to me, and
Yeah. He's also like kind of like how Apocalypse is like Dark Side Light. I feel like he's a Vandal Savage Light of the X-Men universe.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah,
Who's that?
he's a DC villain.
Dark Phoenix is definitely like yes, I really like Dark Phoenix. Obviously, I mean that's who I picked because I thought that she has flair. It's kind of the in terms of like best villains that you can reason with Dark Phoenix, but also can't because it's just so much like it's just such a big force and event, right? It's just that there's a lot that goes into Dark Phoenix that I kind of want to save for later because she's winning.
Fair enough.
Think about it this way. Dark Phoenix is so awesome that they tried to tell her story in the movies twice, and she's also so awesome that they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Either time.
Yeah. The X-Men series has failed twice, and it stops at those movies.
It's a sign. Stop trying. It's not a chance for you to try again.
Unless you do it with Deadpool, right? I think if we just give it to Ryan Reynolds to do, I think he can make it work. Somehow he'd figure it out.
I don't know with Dark Phoenix though. Like I love Deadpool. I'm the biggest fan of Deadpool, but like I feel like Dark Phoenix has so much to the character, and it's just so huge that if you try to like represent it with the humor that Deadpool is represented in, like that all the characters within the Deadpool universe have been represented in, it just won't do it justice again. So it's like just don't touch Dark Phoenix. Just let her. She's great. Just let her asses.
All right, finishing poll. Dark Phoenix moving on.
Bye, Shaw. Oh, this fucking televangelist.
What?
What?
William Stryker?
Oh,
I don't know.
so confused.
They make me angry.
Yes.
Well,
But yes, we are going on to now William Stryker versus Castillo. I don't know.
Callisto.
You're doing
Callisto.
so good.
Yikes.
So good. A+.
A+.
I got a 1, so
It's
5.
I got a 3.
6. Wow, this I really like 6 today. Oh,
I
is
really
it
like
6?
yeah.
Yep.
Damn it. I'm gonna go with Callisto because she's not a televangelist, and no, she's just like this badass, and like she like goes against Storm like 1-on-1. Wait, is this the? She
She's
does,
the one
right?
that gets zapped by lightning, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, wait, did I? Like, Storm's already like pretty badass. For you to be able to like go against Storm 1-on-1, it's like, all right.
That was when
All
Storm had lost her powers too. It was just a woman-on-woman fight. There were no powers involved.
Do you have objections to that, sir?
No, not at all. That makes Storm that even more bad. You said Storm was badass, so
Yeah.
that was even more
So
bad.
it's like an actual like fair fight. It's not like I'm gonna zap you and you're done. Like they actually fight, and like she runs this whole gang, and she's just like, yeah, Callisto for the win.
Yeah, I wasn't arguing with you because I'm the one that put her on the list.
There you go.
I wanted somebody to represent the Morlocks, and I also love that story where she and Storm fight. They become friends afterwards. That's where Storm got her little sleeveless leather jacket. It was Callisto's, and it's
I didn't know that.
Callisto wore. It was like she became leader of the Morlocks because she beat Callisto in that fight, and that jacket sort of symbolized that.
Nice.
But
Plus, the Morlock's name already has a fantastic origin.
Right.
So
The time machine?
yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, that's exactly where that came from.
I'm gonna go with William Stryker. I also like Callisto, but as far as powers are concerned, she's essentially a metal detector for mutants. She's cool, like she's badass. But like she's a finder, and she's a cool like mother hen type badass. But so like William Stryker is like everything that is wrong with the world rolled up into one person, like this unfounded, unbased righteousness that is just like, he wants to commit a genocide against the mutants, like he because they're unclean, they're like, he thinks they're evil and wrong and all this stuff, and he thinks he's right to do so. Like, that's what's terrifying, is like, in his fucked up brain, it's not from a place of hate. He's like, it's God's calling, I'm gonna kill all the babies. Like, he's a fucking monster. Yeah. And then there's movie one where he's just like, you know, I like to experiment on soldiers guy, which wasn't a bad take. It was still a good movie, but it was a deep watering down of what Stryker's character is and could be. Yeah, he's crazy pants. He's dangerous.
He's a psychopath. He killed his own son. And wife, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with William Stryker there. It's that, like, it's the righteous indignation. It's the no, because I think my God is right. There's no arguing with that. There's no, as we kind of have all seen, and that's why it's so kind of terrifying. It's that there's no arguing around that. It's very real world scary.
He makes me think of the demon sperm thing going out.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think you talked me into William Stryker, actually. He was a good friend. She's not the best villain. She becomes a good friend. Okay.
That's true. That's fair. Yeah. Plus demon sperm.
I actually never knew about the comic book version of Stryker. I only knew the movie version, so I didn't know he was that crazy. But that
Reverend
makes it even worse.
Psychopants.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, even before, like, experimenting on his own son and just seeing mutants as like something that are not even could be considered humans or something like that is way more sinister than the other.
Way more sinister than Mr. Sinister?
Arsenal says, I like the movie version over the comic version, though, because Brian Cox, A+. Yeah,
Brian Cox is great. Yeah.
It's a great performance in that movie.
It's that whole, like, especially the movie version. The movie version felt more like those anti-vaxxer parents that are like, where it's like,
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? It's like, well, I think that there's a problem. I'm going to fix that problem. And if that kills you, like, I'm not too worried about it. Like, it's like,
it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I think the best evil take from the Brian Cox version was the fact that, like, he dehumanized his son enough to use him as, like, a tool, like, as just, like, a chemical thing. Like, he no longer saw his son as a person. He saw him as like a means to an end for completing his goal because he was a bastard.
Right.
Both very good takes on that character.
Yeah.
Another psychopath we needed in this planet.
Yay! Yay!
All right. Stryker will be moving on, and we will be finishing the first
moment
bracket.
You've all been waiting for.
Mojo versus Sabretooth.
Oh no.
Oh no. 10.
I got another
10.
1?
3.
2.
Wow.
All right, 10. We roll off again.
Okay. 1.
2. Okay. Wait a second before we get started. Adrian Bruce Willis says, you guys are all wrong. Rob Liefeld is the best X-Men villain. I'm actually gonna. Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna read Scabby Roosters before I make that. I feel the need to help make the stance for Mojo. Outside of Magneto or maybe Apocalypse, not a single villain has a chance in this competition. He is an extra-dimensional warlord that reweaves reality to put X-Men in giant reality TV competitions that lead to death. That is true. I was actually gonna go with Mojo because also he's an excellent allegory for like. I mean, he started kind of like a joke. Because he was supposed to be making fun of network executives. Like that was the joke when he was created. It was just like, yeah, we'll put anything on because people will watch it, and fuck who's in the show. No one cares. It's all entertainment. Blah 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 blah. Right? And that becoming an actual powerful being that has the power to like also back to dehumanization. You know, they become props to his game, and they have to play the game.
Are you telling me Mojo's running the United States right now?
Yeah, and I like that he's literally spineless. Like, they went all out with his design. Like, he can't move around without this technology. Like, it's fucking great. Yeah, I'm going with Mojo. Okay, but Sabretooth is cool. Sabretooth is dope. There's like a foil for Wolverine, but not necessarily like grand scale baddie in my opinion.
Again, like Lady Deathstrike, Sabretooth is very much a Wolverine villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so cool looking.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love Wolverine. I love Sabretooth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mojo as well. Like, he's too real. He's too hits too close to the heart.
Yeah, I'm going with Mojo too. Because of what everyone has said already, but also just his dramatics are so much more interesting to watch. I mean, he is holding this reality television competition, but then himself is such a, like you said, like a parody of reality television that is just interesting to watch, where Sabretooth is a cool character and, you know, has some cool fight in him, but Mojo is just so dramatic. It's just so over the top and ridiculous.
Well, it's like when he fails, like, because like the X-Men escape is like, yeah, whatever, I got the ratings I wanted, I don't give a fuck. I was here for the ratings all along.
And he was kind of doing the reality TV thing before reality TV was even a big thing, like early on.
Yeah.
It's his fault. We're living it. We're in the Mojoverse.
Oh no! I kind of think we are.
X-Men, where are you?
Oh man.
I was reading comics every week when the Longshot character was first introduced in his miniseries, which Mojo was the villain in that series. And it was just like, it wasn't meant to be part of anything. It took place in another universe. All the characters were really weird. There was Mojo, Major Domo, and Spiral.
Spiral, yeah.
And Longshot doesn't even have 5 fingers. He's got 4 fingers. Everybody was different. I loved the wacky design of Mojo and this spider chair, and it was just too good. They had to fold it into the regular universe. They couldn't just leave it as a one-shot thing. Just the wacky designs really even influenced the way I designed NPCs as a DM at the time. I started making like cyborg characters for people to fight that were all influenced by Mojo. I just,
Right.
you know, I love
That's
it.
awesome.
I'm reading some of the descriptions of what his force abilities would be too. Is like Doctor Strange has even said that a prolonged existence on Earth could cause storms and other natural disasters just from him being there.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, he's just like evils just centering around him. Yeah, and I think everyone is mostly in agreement in the chat that it's 8-3 and Mojo is gonna be moving on.
Sweet.
Hi, kitty cat.
All right.
I think it's interesting that in chat everybody's saying, but Sabretooth is Big Kitty! But it's Big Kitty! So
I know.
that's a fair argument, I think.
Agreed.
All right. So now we are starting the rounds back up again with Magneto versus Mr. Sinister.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, Gabby Rooster. Thanks for popping
Starting to
in.
get tough.
20. Oh, there's my high roll.
I got a 9.
12.
11.
11.
All right.
Oh, well, that's not me. Haha.
It's me. It's me. There's no comparison. Magneto definitely for me. He's just your iconic X-Men villain. His power is amazing. Like, the only way to stop him is like, no more metal in the world. Oh wait, that's very hard to accomplish. And Mr. Sinister, it's like, yeah, you were a scientist. You have your cool backstory, but it's just no comparison for me.
What have you done for me lately, Mr. Sinister?
I like your suit, but whatever. But I like Magneto's suit too.
You can get rid of all the metal in the world for Magneto They did it in the movies like a couple times with plastic prisons.
And how long did that last?
Not very long.
About a 5-minute prologue?
Yeah, he's got too many followers.
Magneto's too great. I mean, if you're going by like their classification system, he's what, like a rank 5 or something? He's up there. He's one of the top most powerful mutants ever. And he's just super cool. I mean, he's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it just strictly powers alone. If we're talking powers, it's like, not only he can fly, because he can push himself up against, the fucking metal in the earth. He can rip fucking mountains apart. He can. I love when he shapes stuff. He turns Wolverine into a fucking voodoo doll. Like he's everything. He's so fun, and he looks dope. Look at him.
The helmet looks a little dumb.
Like everything about this guy should be dorky as fuck, but he's such a badass. Look at him. It's like I play with magnets, but he's so good. Anyway, I love Magneto, so I don't even feel like I have to yell about it.
Well, Mr. Sinister looks dope, but it's got to go to Magneto. I think as far as character, Mr. Sinister is kind of tropey. Like he's a scientist that's gone evil, and we see that all the time in comics and
in a Marvel comic.
What?
But Magneto has this origin story that is so strong and complex, and an origin that we don't see that often. And also, if we do see it, Magneto's kind of the first one to kind of go that route, because he's been around so long. So yeah, Magneto's like you said earlier, iconic. You can't go wrong with Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna kind of jump off of that and reply to someone in the chat saying Magneto is always so one note. And I think it's not that he's one note; it's that he has very strong convictions. It's that no, there's this one. This is the goal. And it's very protect my family. I've chosen this family. I'm going to protect them, and that's what I'm going with. And in that way, yes, it's one note, but it's a distinct and strong conviction that no one's gonna break. And he stuck with it for a very long time, which can feel one note, but I think it's more of it's that strong conviction.
And as far as the major Marvel villains go, it is one note and it is conviction, but it's like it's sympathetic too. We can understand it and we can agree with it much more than we can with like Doctor Doom or
yeah,
Kang or whoever.
Yeah, I feel like Magneto is most interesting when he's not exactly the villain in that particular story. It's like when it's a shared villain between him and Xavier has to get between Magneto and the actual bad guy. Because generally Magneto steps up because someone's being attacked or oppressed, specifically mutants, and he's gonna go like, I'm gonna shut this shit down. And Professor X is like, well, how about we don't kill them, huh? That's what I love about Magneto. He's just like, no, listen, this guy's wrong. We all see this guy's wrong. Why aren't we just solving this problem right now? Yeah. Once and for all. And so it takes, a different sort of compassion from Xavier to try and either talk him down or fight him down. And that's also why he gets to live. Anyway, I like that. I like that stuff. I love his stories for that.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I think Mr. Magneto will move on.
They're asking where Victor Doom is. I'd call him a Fantastic Four villain before I'd call him an X-Men.
Oh. He's not quite an X-Men villain.
I mean, he has been. There's so much cross-pollination, but he's not. He's not there.
At that point, all Marvel villains are eventually an X-Men villain.
Everybody was on the X-Men team. The X-Men fought everybody.
It's like how everyone's an Avenger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want Squirrel Girl in the Avenger universe. That's all I'm gonna say.
Isn't she? Is she not yet?
I mean, she's in the Marvel Rising, but that's the mini cartoon movies that they threw out. But I want her out there. More people need to know who Squirrel Girl is.
She's awesome.
Wasn't she one of the Great Lakes Avengers or something like that?
She's my favorite.
Canadian?
She can.
Wait,
I don't know.
Canadian. Fuck me.
Cucumber died.
Bye,
Oh, no.
Cucumber.
Yeah.
The master debater needs a break.
Blood cucumber.
All right. We've got next Apocalypse versus Mystique. I got an 8.
Nick.
19.
Oh.
Oh,
All my high rolls are coming out.
14.
Will, what'd you get?
I got 12.
All right. Well, again, I think Mystique is just a flat out badass. She has so much to her character. She has lived so many lives, and she needs, like, I think Cucumber was the one that was saying it. She needs to make sure that every time she does a better job at impersonating whoever she's impersonating, because people know that she's a thing, and she needs to keep her game up at all times. She's just fantastic. She has her power, and then she's like a badass fighter that is not necessarily part of her power, but she can kick your ass just a one-on-one combat. Apocalypse is like, he's just this massive, like, he is the one villain for a big fight, but always for me, Mystique is for me the way to go.
like if we think about it and we think about all the mutations that we've seen, I mean, we've seen a lot of mutations, right? Her mutation is she can impersonate people, which is really impressive, but it doesn't give her the knowledge, right? I mean, so like, think of all the things she has to know and do perfectly, or at least well enough to get around, and then people know about her powers. Like, she's done so much, and she's so prolific as a villain, and she again has a very long history where her power is like, if someone else had that power, they could have been a nothing villain, something very small, a very nothing. It could have been very, very small, but she's done so much with it that she is unique unto herself as a person and a villain. Like, she is intellectually a badass as well. Yeah.
I love Ready to Nap's comment. She's your mom. She's your enemy. She's your mom. Yeah, basically. Well-rounded comment right there.
I'm going to step over to the other side for a moment. I'm going to talk about DC characters in order to explain my take on this. So, like, in DC, Batman is the guy who supposedly, arguably, but would be able to defeat anyone because he has everyone's
weakness.
Whatever could hurt or kill everyone, he has that knowledge, and he's able to control outcomes because of that. But it's been said that because she can overcome Batman because of what she means to him and how she can manipulate him, that Catwoman would end up being like the one on top, because after Batman gets everyone else, Catwoman would get Batman.
She gives him sex.
And that's kind of what Mystique is for the X-Men. Like, the X-Men could be fighting anyone and they could defeat them, but she's like still standing off, behind them, and they don't even realize she's there. She could be in their ranks. She could be anywhere, and she could just overtake them just by, her skill set and being there, and them not even being able to see that it's her. So I gotta go with Mystique.
Yeah. Like, Apocalypse, it's crazy because there's so much backstory for Apocalypse. Like,
Uh-oh, you cut out there.
to like Egypt and all this stuff. He's like this crazy, badass, powerful thing. But to me, he's just not that interesting, no matter how hard they try. It's just like, I am the big bad guy telling everyone else what to do. It's the everyone else that he sends off that I'm way more interested in, including Mystique when she was working for him. But also as a solo flyer, I'm way more interested in Mystique stories than I am about Apocalypses. I think that's kind of a price to pay when you have very powerful characters, because they're just there to be powerful sometimes. And I think he suffers as one of those. Like, he's just like, I'm the biggest and the strongest. That's me.
That's it.
And I feel like she's got to work for all of her successes a little bit harder. And I think they're just more interesting to watch.
Yeah, like literally, Apocalypse has chambers where he can almost replicate other mutant powers at his will if he wanted to. It's just like, well, you just have everything already. What did you earn it for?
He can change shape too, can't he?
He can swap bodies.
He can, but But we're all talking about her, not him.
she's just more awesome at it.
Yeah.
Tavern Tales is all about Apocalypse. Is a villain for all of the X-Men. Mystique usually faces off against one or two. True. Age of Apocalypse is one of the best alternative universe arcs of all time. Also true.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
I tried to read it, but the Rob Liefeld art just I couldn't get past it.
All right. The chat has spoken. Mystique will move on.
Whoa. By a lot.
Yeah.
I was expecting more people in Apocalypse's corner. Oh well. Bye-bye.
As much as
Diagram was this.
Oscar Isaac, it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, can you believe that was him? Man, that whole movie was a mess.
Yep. Yep.
It,
Yep.
I'm talking
it
about
looked so right. All the stills, I was like, okay, they figured it out. And then those pictures started moving. I was like, oh, no.
Just kidding.
All right. Now we have the Juggernaut versus the Dark Phoenix. I 4.
19.
16.
15.
9.
Go.
Okay. I still love the Juggernaut.
But
But, Dark Phoenix. 'Cause there's just so much happening. She's a beast, right? Because it's like, what's so cool about Dark Phoenix, especially when the Phoenix Force is like inside of Jean, is that everybody loves Jean. So that makes her so much harder to fight. Because they're like, well, Jean, I love you. And you're like, really gotta fight and stuff. And it's sad. I don't have a lot for either of these anymore. Like, Juggernaut's pretty simple. He's cut and dry. You know what you're getting. And then Dark Phoenix, there's a lot of information that I know I don't have. But yeah, she's super powerful. And powers from space. Space powers. Space entity powers. Oh gosh, I'm gonna shut up. Take it, somebody. Take it away.
Like Arsenal Roy
we
says,
just like to watch you struggle.
Arsenal Roy says Juggy runs directly at Jean and then she bounces him off her TK shield into space. So she stopped him. She redirected that momentum. So
Yeah.
going Dark Phoenix.
It's like, bam, it's just right there. It's like, no.
Good point.
Well, bam!
It's easy when they've actually clashed.
Yeah, Juggernaut is a brute force, but Dark Phoenix is an actual, Phoenix force. She's a force, and then she has all of everything else that makes her awesome on top of it. So she definitely ones up Juggernaut in every way.
I think she could just disintegrate him before he got to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of power, there's no comparison between these two. It's one of those that is like, it's not really fair because she's just so much stronger than he is. Like, and that's saying something because he's the Juggernaut, But
Comma,
it's just
bitch.
Yep. But yeah, definitely Dark Phoenix 100% would take him down.
So when Wolverine and Jean Grey are fighting in the first X-Men series, when she was trying to disintegrate him, was she not disintegrating him all the way because there was still a bit of her in there and just not going all the way, or was he just regenerating that fast?
I think he was regenerating that fast, but it's a movie. Drama.
It's one of those why not both type things.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, sure. Both.
Fair.
It was
Yeah,
lackluster
scene, though.
writing him, just like the acting and the whole movie. I love Famke Janssen and I loved her as Jean Grey, but that whole Dark Phoenix arc in that movie was so half-assed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be a trend. It's like, what? Just take your time. That could be a whole series of movies. Like, look at your Marvel universe. Look what you can do.
Yeah, give Jean Grey a whole trilogy all to her. Like it would be awesome.
Give us a Phoenix movie first before the Dark Phoenix movie.
Yeah.
All right. I think 10-2 is very clear. Dark Phoenix will be moving on.
Moving on.
All right.
Stick.
We now
Oh,
have
thank goodness.
Stryker versus Mojo.
Oh, this is good. I like this one. It's a good matchup.
7.
Got an 18.
I got an 8.
A 16.
Again with cucumber.
Okay. This is hard. But I'm gonna go with William Stryker. Okay. The reason this is hard for me is not because I necessarily think one is better. They're both very good illustrations of different types of evil. I think Mojo has a power advantage in that he's got his own sort of pocket universe that he can fuck shit up in, and he has power clearly over these characters to make them do things. But what I think is more terrifying about William Stryker is that he is just a man who is able to change the hearts of what would I assume be at least decent people at the time, and he's able to create this cultish behavior in normal people and turn them into the enemy because he is that fucking evil, and he does it all while thumping the book. He's a dick. I hate him. I just hate him so much.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go next. Going off of what you're saying, if Magneto's somebody who we can side with sometimes, it's because he's going against William Stryker. William Stryker is the evil that both Xavier and Magneto are up in arms against. And you couldn't have either of them without the William Stryker.
I would agree that it's William Stryker because he's just too realistic. It's frighteningly realistic. But I do find it interesting that the bracket we ended up with these two pitted against each other because one is real life horror versus reality TV horror.
Yeah.
They're kind of two sides of the same coin. But yeah, William Stryker is the one that I would be more worried about. If they were both in a room with me, I'd be I don't trust that guy. I don't trust either one of them, but I'm staying away from William Stryker.
Yeah, at least you know what Mojo is.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And
you're more aware of okay, I understand his motivations. He wants to just it's ratings. It's just that sort of reality TV versus Stryker. Sometimes it can go off into right field of where I don't know what logic got you to that point, but that's really scary. Oh, I don't, I think we should kill babies. Is what the end logic gets to, right? And it's and you're oh, I didn't know how we got there. Can we go back? And now you're terrifying. You're terrifying.
No, we're there. No turning back.
You're in our cult now. You have to agree to this.
Yeah.
I like that this one was pretty neck and neck. It was bouncing back and forth for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I like this quote from the chat. Welcome to Mojo says, "Welcome to Mojo," where on Stryker says, "Welcome to white male fragility."
Yup.
Yeah, I definitely like Mojo better as a character, but William Stryker just pisses me off so much that it's too real.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I can actually think of real life situations of this asshole kind of people just running around actually pulling shit like this off. It's
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now Mojo is escapism, whereas Stryker is very sobering.
Oh yeah.
The world.
Yeah, because there's people who would exist like that if mutants existed around here. That would be no doubt.
That's the terrifying thing is that is a very reasonable assumption for us to make of if this ever happened, that would be a reasonable person to exist.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying.
The real villain is the human.
Correct.
I mean,
human mind.
Correct. You're not wrong, sir.
And you have defined the X-Men series in...
Hey.
We were the villains all over.
Mojo has no chance against the Cardassians.
Truth.
Nice. All right. Ending that with it actually still being fairly close, 9-5.
Woo!
Working
that.
9 to 5.
There's a lot of people not voting in the chat, I see.
They couldn't decide. They couldn't decide.
We are down to our
Thank you
second
for
to
the
last
work.
bracket.
Oh, this one's gonna be hard.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Oh no!
This makes me so sad. I got a 9.
That's what I'm doing. I'm moving the wrong thing. There it is.
Hard.
Yeah, that's an interesting pairing to get down to.
This one makes me
Magneto versus Mystique in the first bracket. 7.
9.
11.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Was
I think it's
the high?
11. Yeah, I think so.
I love both of them. Really, really love Mystique, but I think I have to go with Magneto. It hurts me to say it, but Magneto is just like we have been saying all along, that sympathetic villain. Like I feel like the best villains are villains who don't see what they're doing as being bad. Like they have a reason for what they're doing. They feel like their motivation is the right thing to do, as opposed to characters who are, villains because they just want to be bad, or they have this bad side to them. Magneto actually feels like what he's doing is heroic as opposed to villainous. And I think that's kind of what makes a great villain, because that driving force just keeps them going. So it's Magneto for me.
Yeah, I think much along what you're saying. Like, he's fighting for a cause, like Mystique will pick fights here and there, but like she's not driven to something the way Magneto is. Like him from the beginning is like, I was oppressed as a child. Like I was like the epitome of oppressed as a child. And now I'm seeing this same oppression towards my people, and I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm standing up for my people and protecting my people. Like, I might not be doing it in the most like rational way to go about it. Like I might be going to the same extremes that they came to me, but it was much like Corey was saying earlier. He's going on the eye for an eye method. It's like, you taught me that this was a thing that you're going, like the extreme that you're willing to go to. So I'm not going to put my people at risk for that to happen again. Like I'm going to protect them from that ever happening to someone that I care about again. So I think as much as I adore Mystique, I think I have to go with Magneto as well.
Yeah, that's what's so great about Magneto, because it's not like he's not full of shit. He's not misreading the situation. It's like he's seen this shit happen, and he's seeing it happen again. So he's aggressively trying to stop it from happening again. So it's like, yeah, everybody should listen. Maybe find a less murdery solution, but dude is right. He's right like 90% of the time. You're like, yep, on board. Yeah, it's fascinating, but also super fucking dangerous. Like, you don't want to get in his way, and he doesn't care if you're like a friend or an enemy in his way. He will get you out of his way to make his path clearer. Because someone mentioned like how he just sidelines Mystique in like 2 seconds in the film. Because he's got bigger fish to fry. He's got to deal with shit. It's like, oh, regrettable. Bye.
When we're talking about like ethics and morals, he really is the embodiment of the ends justify the means of like, we have already been through this sort of thing, and that end was unacceptable, right? The Holocaust, being a Jew in that situation, and all that oppression, right? And then so he's like, okay, so that end was unacceptable, so I'm going to make sure that as I'm seeing this happen again, I'm going to make a different end happen, and any means to get there is worth it, because that one was unacceptable. I absolutely go with Magneto 100%. I think that he has Mystique feels more like a free agent, so in that sense she can be a little bit more villainous in that you don't necessarily know exactly her motivations, because they are her own depending on the situation, whereas Magneto, it's like, nope, wanna betcha he's fighting for mutants, and if he has to sacrifice the mutants to get there, he's gonna do it, like, which is also equally terrifying. I agree that I'm voting for Magneto though.
I feel like Magneto, if you guys have ever seen the Louis C.K. comedy skit, of course, but maybe. It's like, of course, we should try to find a nice compromise so that we can all live together. But maybe if we close our eyes and kill all the humans, maybe we'll get to a peaceful ending faster. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think everyone's in agreement. I think that we have one pity vote for Mystique out of 12. So.
No, it was a pity vote. She's a badass.
Yeah, fair.
She's made it this far. She stands her ground.
She is badass.
True. Yeah. And a lot of Magneto's plans probably would never have gone through without Mystique helping him.
Oh, absolutely.
She's the man in the, or man or woman or whatever she decides to be that day in the White House when they need her to be.
She's the person.
Oh, gender fluid.
Perfect. All right. Ending that poll. Magneto moving on to the final round. All right. Dark Phoenix versus William Stryker.
19.
18.
15.
10.
11.
All right. I'm gonna go with Dark Phoenix because William Stryker can burn in the pits of hell that Dark Phoenix will provide for him. It's like, oh, you want to go to hell? Great, burn. Gotcha. 2 seconds, William Stryker will die locked in a room with Dark Phoenix. And yeah, he's very sobering. He's very real. He's very like the villain. But I hate him so much that I just don't want him to go to the final round. So I'm going to go for Dark Phoenix.
He doesn't deserve the title of best.
He really doesn't.
He doesn't. He's like, no, you can't take that. No. In a world where we're arguing best villains in the X-Men world, let's not put a human at the top of that list.
Here's my argument for Stryker is that, like, if you take, like, especially the movie Xavier and Magneto, they stand in for gay oppression a lot, and especially in the first couple of X-Men movies. And William Stryker, I mean, come on, he's like that televangelist who wants to kill all the gays. And you were talking about how can somebody get to wanting to kill babies? And there are like evangelists who would be fine with, like, if we could tell a baby's going to be gay, we're going to abort those babies before they're born.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dark Phoenix, I like her better.
This is a tough one because William Stryker truly is
A villain.
worst villain. Like, if we're, I feel like William Stryker deserves worst villain as opposed to best villain.
I like that.
Loopholes.
I'm going to go for Dark Phoenix for best villain. Because I just can't with. I agree with you guys. I can't with William Stryker
Yeah.
for those reasons. Like, he's just so awful that you can't even escape with him. It's just too real.
He's the real world villain.
Yeah.
Yep. This is where Stryker gets off. We've made the point. He's evil as fuck, but he's not fun.
He's not fun. Too real.
Too real.
Yeah, but that would be fun. That would be an interesting thing if he got through this, though, because it's like, yeah, he is the villain, like the real epitome of the villain.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of those situations. What? Sorry, Brian, go.
Oh yeah, well, it's what Ready on Tap said in the chat. It was like, X-Men was to put the human race as like a people in the spotlight and be like, hey, you guys are screwed up. Do better.
Yeah.
It's true. I feel like this is it could turn out to be like the situations that we've run to in the past that will argue against something and we just end up making the case for that thing. It's like we're all saying like, yeah, he's the worst villain, like out of the both of them. But we don't want him to go through, and then they end up going through anyway. It's like,
Yeah. The reason I'm going Phoenix now is like I know Stryker is the most evil, like flat out the most evil. But like if I'm gonna like pour myself a cup of coffee, make some bacon and eggs, and I'm just gonna like pick up a comic book, I'm gonna want to read about the Dark Phoenix.
Oh,
I want that little extra bit of fantasy and escapism and that kind of fun shit. Because if I wake up and read Stryker, I'm gonna go knock heads together.
Go back into the bed. Don't want.
Yeah. Go back to bed.
Comics are about escapism. So.
There you go.
Yep. Every once in a while, you gotta knock in some of those realisms, but definitely want to escape.
Tigeron's like, Dark Phoenix can destroy the world. I would challenge you to say, I would say that Stryker could also destroy the world.
Yeah. Just different meanings.
It would be longer and more painful if Stryker did it too.
But yeah. Ready Nap says, which means Stryker just won by making you pull the covers over your head, Cucumber. No, I'm aware. Like if I saw one Stryker in the street, he wouldn't be walking for much longer. We're not friends.
Not friends.
Yeah,
He's one of those people that
that's
it's like, maybe I take one for the team and just shot him and just go to jail for this one. It's like, I'd be willing to sacrifice myself for the greater good.
I love Rob Vegas's one is Jean was Dark Phoenix for only a little bit. Stryker was always Stryker.
Yeah.
True.
Mhm.
All right.
Phoenix Force is eternal.
Yeah.
She just needs a new host and it keeps going.
Dibs.
That'd be dangerous indeed.
So awesome.
Cucumber, you need a Phoenix costume now.
Ooh.
That would be so awesome.
Yes.
Just gotta reach out
Except
to
that you're
Jess.
gonna end up looking like the Labyrinth character, just like with the chicken head on your head.
Very exhilarating being
Fiery?
cut.
Oh yeah. All right.
No, not the fiery, the old man.
Oh man.
Yeah, the old man that asks for the tip
The
for
alms
advice,
Okay.
and he has the chicken head.
He's
Mhm.
nodding. He doesn't know. Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm, that guy.
All right. 10-5. Dark Phoenix moving on.
Bye, demon person.
And I think we've seen this matchup in the movies before. Magneto versus Dark Phoenix.
Mhm.
Boy.
Mm-hmm.
2. Oh, thank goodness.
I got a 3.
7.
Hey, cucumber.
Yeah, what's up? You got
Go
22?
for it. Nope. See
Damn
you.
Does someone have a plus for like their decks? No.
Yeah, what's your modifier? Do you have a modifier?
It's actually -3, so
We got a
Oh gosh, this is like.
What'd you get, Will?
12.
12.
yeah, cucumber got 20.
Oh.
So Magneto. Yeah, I mean Phoenix Force, the Dark Phoenix, because I think specifically because it's not the Phoenix Force that's on this bracket. It is Dark Phoenix specifically.
That's fair.
I think Magneto wins, just because it's like I'm always interested when he's around. Not that I'm not interested. Fuck, this is hard. I love them both. Magneto, because he's I got nothing right now. Somebody say something so I can argue with you.
Oh, Magneto's biceps are coming out of your ears, so
Goats.
Like
Magneto's giving you flowing locks right now.
a purple mullet.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks so zen.
yeah, it does look zen.
Meditating. Hold on.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm a
You have
back.
to put your arms behind your back, yeah.
It's harder, easier said than done.
Push.
There you go.
Whoosh, whoosh.
It's a girl.
My head's big. Okay.
I don't know. This one's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So hard.
Let's see how mad the chat is.
All right, I'll open the poll.
Someone said Chip is better.
I was like, nope, you're on your own, cucumber.
I think I'm going to go with. I would go with Magneto because I would say Magneto is that perfect combination of what we've been talking about, where William Stryker is too real and Dark Phoenix is full escapism. Magneto is the balance of both. So that's why I will go with Magneto.
And he's in the movies. He's easily been the most interesting character in each film. And if you take his philosophy of like, he's been compared to like Malcolm X if Professor X was Martin Luther King. We've been seeing a lot lately that peaceful protest doesn't really get us much. It takes a little aggression sometimes to actually get what you want.
Yeah.
So, there were those T-shirts a few years ago saying Magneto was right, and sometimes I agree with that.
Yeah, I think I have to agree, Magneto as well, because he has a cause, like he's fighting for something actively, like he keeps coming back. My ultimate goal is to fight to defend my people. Dark Phoenix is like this raging force, like, I don't want to say without a cause, but it's just nature, like the Phoenix Force. It's just a natural force. It's like the loss of nature will overrule whatever else. But like Magneto has a purpose that guides him to do the things he does. And I think as a character, it's going to lean me towards like, I think I end up going for like well-rounded character. Magneto's going to be that pull for me to vote for him.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
I'm very conflicted. So, because I feel like as much as Magneto has the backstory and all the stories, we have so many Magneto stories. Dark Phoenix has that because it is battling with Jean as well. I mean, they exist in the same body, and so Jean is still there, sort of, and so it's that conflict that was always so interesting to me. That like Jean is in there, and everybody loves Jean so much, and Jean is she's so powerful in and of herself, and then there's the Dark Phoenix on top of it. Oh man, I don't know. I might have to go Magneto.
Well,
I really like Dark Phoenix, and Cucumber, do we need to leave you alone with that?
I mean, their adventure's looking pretty good.
It makes me really happy that we have both finalists here, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Like,
it's
who
like
knew?
subconscious or subliminal, like putting the actual.
We could test this.
I mean, there is a science behind subliminal messaging.
That's true.
So
There it is.
every week we need to now start pushing for who we want to win, just having them in the background.
Yep.
See, if I didn't blend into my background, I would do that.
As long as they aren't like bracketed together in the first round, that would suck.
That'd be rough.
That'd be bad.
Yeah.
That was like the Green Lantern fight, man. People got removed way early. That's how we ended up with Chip.
Yeah.
It was a well-deserved fight, though.
Well.
Wow.
Oh, Chat leaning Magneto.
Oh yeah, very much so. It's currently 12-3, so it's pretty conclusive.
I love this Arsenal Roy 2K, but who would Chunk have voted for?
Chunk. Let's see.
Call him.
I feel like Chunk would have like doubled down on like Mystique or
represent the blue.
Callisto.
Blue power.
Oh, true.
Oh yeah, actually yeah, she's also blue. I don't know. I don't know what he knows about X-Men, what he doesn't know about X-Men. I don't know if I'm doing this.
Someone text him and see, hey, which one would you go for?
Hey, Chuck.
Just a lot of effort. Who drew this? I feel bad. I didn't do my homework. I don't know who drew this, but I really like this Magneto look. I was admiring like the fingers and the inking on the fingers.
Yeah, you were.
All right.
Does the master debater here need some privacy?
Ah.
I ain't shy.
Do us. All right, I think we'll finish that pull out. Magneto will be crowned the victor. All right. Now I will get a poll ready to go for who to decide wins this round today. So talk amongst yourselves.
Sing us a song, Cucumber, but not that's copyrighted.
What?
Like The Hobbit.
Oh, you take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for ye. For me and my true love will never meet again. I just fucked up that song already. Bags of Lochloman. And I did it. I had it right.
Yay!
Never doubt yourself, kids. You probably know the lyrics to your favorite song.
Or should.
Okay, the poll is open.
Is it though?
It is.
Is it?
But is it though?
But is it though?
You opened the wrong poll. You opened Best Debater, not Master Debater.
Uh-huh.
And now we wait. I will see. Alright, so if everyone agrees,
Ryan, you didn't put yourself in there.
someone's
I
diving
didn't.
in there.
Ryan.
Ryan,
Ryan.
What?
You didn't
You're
put
not
yourself in the
there.
flat poll.
There's not enough room. There's only 5 spots.
I
Fix it.
appreciate that Ready to Nap has my numbers. Like, Phoenix Force Cucumber would just grow a super long beard, not be celiac, and morph into a badass dwarf. All of which would be correct.
All of which would be correct.
I think it would be
still
more
use
of
my
a
powers for
badass
shenanigans,
goblin, though.
Huh?
You would be more of a badass goblin than a dwarf.
You no! Out of here with that shit. No, I would be a dwarf, a proud dwarf. With a kick-ass braided beard and meat thrill chain mail.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Making
think,
jewels from the friends. Not you. Think I'm a goblin?
I think she's there's the green.
Yeah.
And the personality.
Oh, he grumpy.
I think everyone wants Cucumber to pick some very random topic for next week is why they're all
I know.
voting for
Start
him.
thinking now.
Oh shit.
This one's pretty. This one's
You're
pretty
winning by a
sold.
landslide.
Yeah, there's not even chance for us.
Someone's just you know you can vote more than once. And you don't have to vote for me.
No,
Yeah,
you
but
promised. You promised to pick something crazy earlier
Yeah.
today, so that's why
Yeah.
they're voting for you.
Which
So
Yeah.
start
X-Men would make the
thinking.
best sandwich,
We
you
did
know?
promise.
Okay. All right.
Deliver.
It's almost done. You got like another minute.
Okay. Okay.
Gotta be crazy.
Gotta be weird.
Easy. Weird.
Oh, you can only vote once on phones. Yes, on mobile it'll only
Yeah.
let you vote once. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Cucumber. There's you're
so
at
good.
310 votes.
Like, I don't think you guys need to waste your channel points anymore. This one's pretty
It's
sold.
over. It's already dead.
Yeah, like this is fine. We get it.
That's crazy though that all of the rest of us though are all 10 votes. Oh,
Yeah.
Bill got one more. Dave got one more.
Hooray.
Wait, no, I'm wrong.
Nope, I'm wrong.
Yep. We all got 10, and then Cucumber got 342.
I like that. I like that aesthetic.
42.
So Cucumber just slightly won.
Just a bit.
Just by a
Just a
foot.
bit.
I feel like I want to do something with Justice League, but I don't want it to be who's the best member of the Justice League because I
Right.
think we keep finding pitfalls with that.
Who
I
has the
wanna
best
get
costume?
Specific.
So you do best costume,
subjective.
best person who would make a cup of coffee, best
On the Justice League would take you out for the best first date. That's what we're going to argue about next week.
All right.
Interesting.
best
Right.
date.
Shit, so we have to get into like these people's personality now.
Right. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Best Justice
And
League first
your
date.
your
Okay.
crown. What do you want for your
Oh,
crown?
I want my crown to be Magneto's helmet.
Cool.
And possibly also his flowing white hair because it's super dope, super cool. I always
but
wanted that
how?
hair. When,
Yeah, how do you see his hammer and the helmet at the same time?
I don't know.
He wants to carry the helmet.
Just the helmet is fine.
I guess.
All right, best.
Or you can do his shoulders and the neck piece, and then I can like pop in on top of it.
Sure. All right.
Like a cutout. Whatever you want to do. I don't want to make
standee.
I like the cutout. I like the cutout.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Hey, Darius. You just missed the whole thing. We just finished with Magneto being the winner.
But you made it.
But you made it.
Yeah, you made it.
just in time.
To say goodbye.
For the raid. All right.
Bye.
Or the
We'll find someone to raid.
Until we meet again.
Cool.
Goodbye.
One of our friends over at Neversong is doing a show, so we'll send them over there. They got 9 people, so go say hi to them. And start that raid right now. Come back later for some Trash Your Piece Theater, where you can make us say random things while we read scripts, do some radio plays.
We don't say random things. We say the script.
Yeah.
Random accents and
There you go.
impersonations.
Yes.
And then we sing
And
lines
songs.
and all that other crazy fun stuff and make the plays even more hilarious than they were meant to be.
Yes. Some of them weren't meant to be funny at all, and some became hilarious. Most are mildly offensive
Yep.
to actually offensive. So there's some bad shit out there. We don't pre-read them, so that's half the fun, discovering how fucked up they are about halfway through.
Mhm.
They're all old public domain plays, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all like old
Yeah.
radio plays and stuff. And
So, yeah, lots of offense in there.
Oh yeah, there's a reason why they don't do them again now.
Yeah.
I also something else offensive. Not that I'm saying people should go to this, but I got excited because I always like the "Let's All Go to the Lobby" song. And there's like a collection on Amazon Prime that has like a bunch of like the commercials and trailers that would play during intermission on drive-in theaters. There's some bad shit in there.
Oh
And I didn't
no.
get to see my "Let's All Go to the Lobby" song, so it was a wasted hour and a half of my time.
Bye everyone. The raid is gonna happen otherwise if I don't do this.